Welcome back, everyone, to the Los Angeles Lakers Flashback Rebuild, Episode 14, Season 14. And we begin with some craziness. If you guys remember, last episode, we had the draft that was 1997, and that was the T-Mac, Tim Duncan, Chauncey Billups draft. And if you guys do recall what we did in that draft, I traded a lot of my picks, and I traded, Evan Mobley, our starting center, who's been our center since we drafted him. He's been a really good center for us, averaged a double-double for every single season except for, I think, his rookie year, or one of those first 2 years. And we traded him to get the second overall pick, but the New York Knicks had good old pick number 1, and they took Timmy D. Tim Duncan goes number 1 to the Knicks. That was my plan. I traded Mobley to get Duncan, or to get the second pick to possibly draft Duncan, because I thought it was a guarantee that they would take Tracy McGrady number 1. It wasn't. McGrady falls to us. Hopefully he develops, because he's going to be our starting shooting guard once we move on from Gail Goodrich. Then we'll have Kobe, T-Mac, LeBron, KD, and Jermaine O'Neal. That's what the starting 5 is going to look like. So last episode was a little bit of a disappointing one as well, because not only did we make the NBA championship game, we lost the NBA championship game to Chris Paul and the Detroit Pistons. So, and we got gentlemen swept there. So we've been to the NBA Finals 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times we've been to the NBA Finals, and we've won twice. We are 2-2 in the finals in this series in 14 years. That is not good. Being to the finals 4 times in 14 years, that is not good, ladies and gentlemen. We need to bump those numbers up heavily. So hopefully this year can be the start of that. But we can't start any flashback draft rebuild video without a good old wheel spin. So 3, 2, 1, spin that wheel. Here we go. What are we going to end up with? We are going to go recent 2018. Okay, that's LUKA, right? Because I think 2017 is Tatum and Donovan Mitchell and those guys. I think 2018 is LUKA, if I'm not mistaken, which is massive. Absolutely massive if it is LUKA. 2018. It's, who is that class? That's not, let's see, 2018. That's got to be LUKA, right? And Trae Young? LUKA and Trae Young? Is that class? I don't know who went number 1. Trae Young didn't go number 1. Who went number 1 in that class? Let's go, I guess we wait and find out. 2018. Who's got a good draft class for us? We've got 170 downloads. This one's got 48 downloads and 25 updates. I like that. But this one says 2018 100% with 1,900 downloads. I can't argue with 1,900 downloads. So we'll see what this one has to say. So this, DeAndre Ayton was the number 1 overall pick. That's right. So it's DeAndre Ayton, Luka Doncic, Trae Young, Jaren Jackson Jr., Colin Sexton, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Marvin Bagley, Robert Williams, Time Lord, Michael Porter Jr. This is a good class. See, this is one of those classes that I was talking about in a previous episode where I was like, once we get to one of these classes that's not like super star heavy, like the 2003 class or the 1996 class or the 1984 class, like not the crazy greatest of all time classes. Once we get one of these middle of the road classes that still has some obvious great players like Trae Young, Luka, DeAndre Ayton, Colin Sexton, like all these top 6, 7 guys are really good players in the NBA. But this is a class that can kind of fill out the bench of a lot of teams, because you've got solid players like Gary Trent Jr., you've got the Bridges brothers, you've got Dante DiVincenzo, you've got Bruce Brown, Lonnie Walker. I mean, look at this draft is deep. Jalen Brunson's even here. You've got a lot of guys that can fill out a team. Hamidou Diallo, Grayson Allen. This is a very deep draft, and it is it's good for us because that can help us out later on, 2-3 episodes down the line, when these guys are all up for free agency. We can start to build out our back of the end of the rotation in our bench with some of these players. So I wanted to get a couple of these draft classes in so that we could like start to fill out the league a little bit, because right now it's pretty star heavy, and there's still some really good bench players and role players, but you need to start to fill out these draft class or this roster with a bunch of draft classes that have some star talent at the top and then a lot of good depth players. So this is one of those good classes. Obviously, LUKA is the star of this class. We are going to go heavily after good old Luka Doncic. If we don't get him, I'd be fine with Trae Young. I'd be fine with DeAndre Ayton because we do need a center. I'd even be fine with a Jaren Jackson Jr. at power forward. Going a little bit later down the line, I'd be good with a Miles Bridges as coming off the bench. Michael Porter coming off the bench. Robert Williams, he impressed me in the finals, or not in the Eastern Conference Finals, I guess, against the Miami Heat. He played amazing as when he was injured even, so he impressed me. Wendell Carter Jr. is obviously really, really good, good defensive center. So, I mean, I'd be fine with a lot of those guys if we don't end up with LUKA, but obviously we want to go with LUKA. So, speaking of the draft, we got to talk draft picks. And we got a lot of them. This is a good draft to have a lot of good draft picks. We have our own first-round pick. We have the Mavericks pick, which Steph Curry's on the Mavericks. We have the Nuggets first-round pick, and we have the Warriors first-round pick. So the Nuggets, we got the 2 years of the Nuggets pick for the Mobley trade, I'm pretty sure. So, I don't know, maybe it wasn't the Mobley trade. It might have been the what's-his-face. We traded Jerry Lucas. That might have been the Jerry Lucas trade. So we've got 4 first-round picks. If we don't end up getting a good pick with either one of these, because I'm hoping that our pick's bad because we're going to be in the playoffs and hopefully in the finals. So if these 3 picks are bad, then we're going to be kind of screwed, because that means we're going to have to try and make a lot of moves to get the number 1 overall pick, because I'm assuming Luke is going to go number 1. Hopefully. Hopefully he goes number 1, which is how he should have been, honestly, in real life. But DeAndre Ayton goes number 1 in real life. But we are going to have to make some moves if we don't have a good run from those other teams in terms of them being bad. The Nuggets, the Mavericks, and who was that last team? The Warriors. So we got to keep an eye out for those 3 teams. But with all that being done, we've spun the wheel. We've figured out our draft class. We've taken a look at the roster, taken a look at the rotation. It's time to simulate roughly halfway through the season to the All-Star draft and find out who are the captains and find out how this team is doing through basically the first half of the season. So I'll see you guys there. Thank you for stopping by the way. I really do appreciate it. Hope you guys are having a great time with this series. I'm having a great time recording. I hope you guys are having a great time watching it as well. So leave a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Let's get this season rolling and get it underway to the halfway point of the season. We come back here February 11th. All-Star draft is right around the corner right here next day. We are 3rd in the Western Conference behind the Mavericks, who we have their first-round pick, so it's probably going to be pretty good. The Warriors, who are in the playoffs, so their pick is going to not be the lottery, but the Nuggets are not in the playoffs, so they probably have a lottery pick. So we might have to move on from that Mavericks pick, because they're going to be pretty good, it looks like. We have been struggling this season mainly with injuries. If we go take a look at the lineup right now, you will notice that Kevin Durant is nowhere to be found because he's struggled with injuries all season. He's currently sitting on a MCL, I think. He's got a strained MCL or something like that. Where's his injury history at? Here it is. He's got a torn MCL. So he's been struggling with injuries all season, which is one thing that Kevin Durant has been known to be struggling with in real life. So he has been in and out of the lineup all season. We've been going back and forth through wins. Luckily, we've got LeBron and Kobe trying to carry things. Jermaine O'Neal is kind of down on his luck right now. Christopher's actually playing pretty well, and so is McGrady, so that's good. We got some good bench scoring with Evans and McGrady and Collison playing good minutes off the bench as backup point guard. But you never want to have Jordan Hill and Jermaine O'Neal as your two big men. So we're kind of struggling here with that. Gail Goodrich is even playing okay. So we've been hit with injuries, and that's kind of why we've been middle of the road, I guess, for our standards. Kobe's kind of taking care of the scoring right now with 24 points per game through the first half of the season. Then Kevin Durant, even with it missing some injuries, he has put up 22 points. LeBron right here doing really, really well, averaging about 20 points per game, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Christopher, even off the bench, he's got 13 points. Gail Goodrich, not really known as a scorer, but he can get his buckets when he needs to. Tyreek Evans playing well. Jermaine O'Neal has jumped up even more points than what he averaged last season, so that's good. You always want to see progression from a guy like Jermaine O'Neal, especially since he came into college or came into the NBA so young, that you always want to see this decent progression from him. T-Mac in his rookie season Only averaged about 7 points because he's not really getting a lot of minutes. He's not getting a lot of shots because when he's probably on the court is a mixture of maybe Tyreek Evans, LeBron James, Kobe. There's Gail Goodrich. There's a lot of guys on the court that are taking shots away from Tracy McGrady, so it's understandable that he only has 7.3. And then Patty Mills hasn't played at all. Bogut hasn't played at all. Darko's gotten some time on the court. He averaged 2.3 in his first season, but other than that, he hasn't really done much because we kind of taken away a lot of his minutes. So that's what our team's stats are looking like through the first bit of the season. Stephon Marbury leading the league in scoring. Then you got Ray Allen, Peja Stojakovic, John Stockton, Jalen Green, and then MJ. MJ 91. He hasn't really developed. He's 8 years in the league. Hasn't really turned into the MJ that we know and love. Maybe in the off camera, I'll turn his face scan into the older Michael Jordan face scan because he's been in the league for a little bit. He doesn't look like that anymore. Then Larry Bird. This is his rookie season. I forgot about that. He was the draft and stash because in real life he got drafted in 78 but went back to play in college, then came in the league in 79 with Magic Johnson. So this is his rookie year and he's doing pretty good. He's probably gonna win rookie of the year. Then Chris Webber's kind of fallen off at age 30. He's not having his 30-point seasons like he was doing early in his career, leading the league in scoring. Then Dwayne Wade finally coming up in the league, his third year in the league, averaging 25. Carmelo is hurt, but he's doing decently well. There's Jonathan Kuminga, surprisingly. And then our first Laker player is Kobe Bryant. All right, so that's how the league is looking. It's time for the All-Star Draft to see who's the captains. Team Stephon Marbury and Team James. Team James Harden, first-time captains for both of them. Let's see who they draft. So James Harden takes Chris Webber, Steph Curry, Hakeem Olajuwon, Charles Barkley, along with Penny Hardaway, Jalen Green, Michael Jordan, Bob Boozer, David DeBusschere, Jonathan Kuminga, first-time All-Star, and Billy Cunningham. And then Team Stephon Marbury takes Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, Rick Barry, Larry Bird, and Cade Cunningham, Kobe Bryant, Sharif Abdur-Rahim, LeBron James, John Stockton, Peja Stojakovic, and Jalen Sims. So we get 2 All-Stars, Kobe and LeBron, and that's about it. Yeah, that's everybody that we get. First-time All-Star for both Kobe and LeBron, so that's good. And that's what the All-Star captains are looking like. So we've got a decision to make because if we take a look at the standings, the Mavericks are leading the entirety of the NBA probably. They have one less, or they have one more loss than the Pistons, so I guess they're not leading the league. But I don't think this is a championship team this season, especially with the injuries we've been dealing with. But we also have the Mavericks pick, we have the Warriors pick, and the Nuggets pick. So they're right there battling for the playoffs. So our picks are not looking that great. Plus our pick is going to be not in the lottery because we're in the playoffs. So we're going to have to make some moves to get LUKA Doncic, that's for sure. But with all that being said, it's time to simulate to the end of the season. I'll see you guys at the awards. The season is wraps, 14 seasons down. And we got the MVP of the league back-to-back. Rick Barry takes it. Then you got Larry Bird, Rookie of the Year. Not too shocking there. Kenny Battle is your 6th Man of the Year. Hakeem Olajuwon somebody's finally dethroned Wilt Chamberlain. I don't know what happened to Wilt, but he finally has been dethroned as Defensive Player of the Year. Mo Cheeks wins Most Improved. Cheeks! Elijah Samuel wins Coach of the Year. Christian Bartlett wins Executive of the Year. So those are your awards. We finished, if you caught that, we finished 2nd in the Western Conference this season. For All-NBA First Team, Starberry, Chris Paul, Rick Barry, Larry Bird, Hakeem. Then you got 2nd Team, John Stockton, Michael Jordan, Chris Webber, Billy Cunningham, Jalen Sims. And All-NBA Third Team is Steve Nash, Dwayne Wade, Sharif Abdur-Rahim, Charles Barkley, Marcus Camby. Defensive team, first team, and there's the 2nd team. LeBron James makes 2nd team, defensive team in his 2nd season, I think. Or 3rd season. Is this 3rd season? 3rd season. Then you got all rookie first team, which is Larry Bird, Tim Duncan, Chauncey Billups. And then you got 2nd team. Tracy McGrady makes 2nd team. There's Tim Thomas. Good for Tim Thomas there. So those are your awards. We finished, for the first time in a long time, we finished as the 2nd seed in the entire Western Conference. That is very, very interesting. Kobe led the league, or led our team in scoring as he did when we cut the first time. Then you got Kevin Durant, who came back from his injury. He's healthy now. That's good to see. LeBron, everybody's averaging about the same point. Josh Christopher, I think, dropped down a point in his average, but he's basically averaging the same thing. Then you got Gail Goodrich, Tracy McGrady, Jermaine O'Neal. Tyreek Evans is hurt, but he should be back for like Game 4, Game 5, depending on how long it takes. So that's what our team is averaging. The official league leaders, Chris Paul won the scoring title, took it from Marbury. Actually, it was Ray Allen and Marbury fighting at the beginning of the season, or at the halfway point. So Chris Paul just jumped in and destroyed everybody. That Pistons team seems to be pretty good. They're the 1 seed. I'm a little bit scared if we get to the finals, we might have to play them. We're taking on the Clippers in the first round. They have Brandon Jennings, Marco Bellinelli, the Rookie of the Year, Larry Bird, Yi Jinlian, I think is how you pronounce that, and then Big Z. So let's see how Larry Bird does in his first ever playoff action. We take game 1. We take game 2. Tyreek Evans is back. We take game 3. And we swept him. All right. That's what you love to see. And the Mavericks took 7 games. 7 games to beat the Nuggets. That's very interesting. We're taking on the Houston Rockets in this series. Allen Iverson and Melo. What a dynamic duo that is. Okay, this is going to be tough. They beat the Timberwolves and Hakeem Olajuwon in 5 games. Game 1 is a Laker win. Game 2 is a Rocket win. Game 3 is a Rocket win. Game 4 is a Rocket win. Okay. So Allen Iverson seems to be heating up a little bit here. So I will drop us down to an 8-man rotation, and we will fix that stuff so that we can have the best odds to be able to beat this Rockets team who has Allen Iverson and Carmelo, 2 of the best scorers of all time, and it doesn't look like we're going to be able to do it. We are getting just absolutely shelled by the Houston Rockets in round 2, and I don't think I can even come back in this game. Nah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. We might have had a shot to come back if I jumped in, but we get eliminated in 5 games to the Houston Rockets. We weren't a good team this year. We struggled with injuries. We weren't ready for it. And it looks like it's Warriors and Nets. The Warriors have Ray Allen as their top guy, and the Nets have Chris Bosh. So Chris Bosh and Rick Barry, the 2-time MVP, back-to-back. So it looks like the Nets might get their ring. They're going up against Ray Allen. That's a tough matchup, but it's a 4-1 series win. Rick Barry wins the MVP back-to-back seasons and then finally gets his shot at the finals MVP. Congratulations to them. It wasn't our year. I'm not too upset about that. We do have official retirement from Andrew Bogut, 20 years in the league, and he retires. That doesn't make any sense. How is he 20 years in the league? Whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He's retired. He's gone. He wasn't that big of an impact player anyway. Staff retirements, we don't really care about that. League meetings, make sure everything is rejected. Keep everything the same. Draft lottery. Here we go. I don't think we have a lottery pick. We do not. So we are going to have to try and trade for a lottery pick. The Blazers have the number 1 overall pick. Cavs have 2. I didn't see what our picks were. I kind of just skipped through that. That's my bad. Future draft picks. So we have pick 15, 22, 26, 29. That is not good. That is not the spot you want to be in to try and get LUKA Doncic. So let's see what we can do here. Let's see if we can make some moves. We can't trade LeBron James, obviously, because he is his contract is up. So we don't have the rights on him. But can we get... Let me just go straight to the Blazers. Let me just go straight to the... Just cut the middleman out. Go straight to the Portland Trail Blazers. Ask them for the number 1 overall pick. What do they want? They want Kevin Durant. Or they want Kobe and Jermaine O'Neal. But they'll give us Jalen Suggs. I would be willing to give you Jermaine O'Neal, but I wouldn't be willing to give you Kobe. I kind of have a plan. I want to have Kobe and LUKA be the 2 like mainstays at the backcourt. But at least they're willing to talk. A lot of teams aren't even willing to talk about the number 1 overall pick, but they are willing to talk. So I'll give you pick 22 from the Warriors. They're not even going to counter offer. I'll give you pick 26 from us, I think that was. I'll give you a trade exception for Jerry Lucas, if you want that. And I'll give you a first round pick in 2038. Come on, give me a counter offer at least. I can't even give him Gail Goodrich because he's not under contract, but he's restricted. So that kind of sucks. I'll give you Josh Christopher though. Okay, they don't want. I'll get rid of this trade exception. It's not gonna matter that much. Josh Christopher. I'll give you a 2037 unprotected pick. I'll give you Jordan Hill or Tyreek Evans. I'll give you Tyreek Evans. Okay, they don't want that. I'll get rid of this first round pick because it doesn't have a lot of star value to it. But oh, that's the same pick. Whoops. I don't have a lot of assets to trade in terms of draft picks. They wanted Jermaine O'Neal. So let me see if I can remove some of this stuff. Let me remove Tyreek Evans. Let me remove this pick. Let's see what this does. Josh Christopher, Jermaine O'Neal, and that pick. So they need to make up $64 million. That's why they were going to give me Jalen Suggs. It's because they need to make up a lot of money because Jermaine O'Neal's making a big contract. So they'd have to give me Jalen Suggs. They don't. That's a lot of value. I think I'd have to give up Kobe if I was gonna do that. And I don't want to give up Kobe. I'd rather give up Kevin Durant, if we're being honest. Is that a good idea? Do I give up Kevin Durant? That would be a massive trade. If I gave up KD in this deal. Jermaine O'Neal and Kevin Durant. What about if it's just Kevin Durant? Kevin Durant for both of these guys. They like the offer, but they're not willing to do the deal. I'll even throw in a first-round pick in 2038. Oh, it's this stupid glitch again. I don't know what this whole glitch is where it's like they say they like the deal, but then they don't do the deal. So I don't know what's going on there. But if you give me 3 first-round picks, your next 3 first-round picks for Kevin Durant, we like what we have as far as this trade is concerned, then accept the deal. What's the problem? If you like the deal so much, accept the deal. I won't even ask for anybody crazy expensive either, or crazy good. Give me back somebody that's cheap, I would prefer, that you have under contract. Give me back this Mark Jackson guy who's got 2 years of overseas. So I don't understand what this whole thing is. Let me cancel this trade out. What if I put Kevin Durant on the trade finder? What does that get us? So this is the one trade that we can do. Kevin Durant and Jermaine O'Neal for the first overall pick in Jalen Suggs. Is this a deal that we do? Kevin Durant and Jermaine O'Neal for the first overall pick in Jalen Suggs. Jalen Suggs has been good. He's on his last year of his deal. He's got one more deal after this, I think. Right? Is that what I'm thinking? I don't know. He might be a free agent, actually. Actually, no. If he was a free agent, we wouldn't be able to trade for him. So he's got one more year. Is this a good idea? We've got Kevin Durant locked up for 3 seasons. We're paying him a big-time contract. But he gets hurt. He got hurt a lot this season. He was hurt on 2 different occasions for months at a time. Plus, we'd be getting up Jermaine O'Neal, who I do like. We'd be getting back Jalen Suggs, who could play some guard for us. But it's LUKA DONCIC. I think it's time to move. I think it's time to move on. We just made a massive trade, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you guys understand the impact that trade just had. Wow, I am completely in utter shock at the trade that we just pulled off there. We have the first overall pick. We're getting LUKA. Can we get the second overall pick to get DeAndre Ayton? That would make me feel a little bit more comfortable. Let's go talk to the Cavs. I would feel pretty confident with the pick. So they want the first overall pick. No, I will not do that. But I'll give you pick 29 as well. They want Jalen Suggs. No, they want to give me back Marc Gasol. I appreciate that, but I don't really want Marc Gasol. And then give me this. They still want Jalen Suggs. I don't want Marc Gasol. I do like Marc Gasol. Let me go trade finder the pick and see what they're offering. Probably something stupid. Let me just see. So, second overall pick trade finder. They're willing to give up. They want Jalen Suggs. Oh no. I was going to say that's a good trade, but no, we're giving up the first overall pick. I don't want to do that. So, in any pick, we'd have to give up Jalen Suggs, which I don't want to do because we just brought him in. Josh Christopher, it's not really worth it. What about the third overall pick? Although I don't think DeAndre Ayton would be there at the third overall pick. Although you never really know, I guess. There's us. The third overall pick is the Miami Heat. What are they willing to do? T-Mac and the 15th pick. That is not really worth it. That is not really worth it. Maybe we could cause a trade to happen organically. If I throw this in, they think that they're a good team. Understandable. Although you're in the lottery, so why do you think you're a good team? And I'll throw in Josh Christopher just to make you... Actually, no. I'll throw in Tyreek Evans. How do you like that? Throw in... That's Josh Christopher again. Come on. I'll throw in Tyreek Evans. You like that? No, they don't like that. I'll also throw you Darren Collison. Or Eddie Moore. I'll throw you Eddie Moore. There you go. So we got the first and the third pick in the draft. I don't know if that's going to end up being DeAndre Ayton. I hope it is. You never really know, but we're taking Luka with the first pick. That's a guarantee. So we know who the first pick is. We're not even going to look at trade offers. Choose prospect. Luka Doncic, come here. You are the first overall pick. You're going to be our starting shooting guard. Well, actually, no, you're going to be our point guard. Kobe, I'm going to move Kobe back to shooting guard. The Cavs take Trae Young, so DeAndre Ayton's there. We do get it. Yes. We make out with DeAndre Ayton as well as Luka Doncic. Boom. That is a massive trade that we just pulled off, getting DeAndre Ayton on the squad. The Thunder take Robert Williams in the 4th pick? Okay, that's crazy. Time Lord getting top 5 pick. A trade. The Kings for Robert Williams. So now the Thunder are back on the clock. They decided they didn't want Time Lord, and they wanted Colin Sexton. Okay. We'll find out in a couple years if that was a good idea. Michael Porter Jr. goes to the Wizards. Then you've got Marvin Bagley headed to the Suns. Wendell Carter Jr. headed to the Rockets. The Grizzlies trade their pick to the Kings for Alperen Sengun. So the Kings are on the clock now, and they take Jaren Jackson Jr. Good pick. That's a good pick. The Spurs are on the clock, and they take... Ooh, they're trading their pick to the Cleveland Cavaliers, who take Shea. All right, so the Cavs trade back up into the draft to get Shea. Good draft for them. And we kept Jalen Suggs in all that trading, so that's a W. Chimezie Metu going to the Sixers, and now we're up with the 15th pick almost. Another trade, a lot of trading. Thunder are back in the draft, and they take Jared Vanderbilt. They must have seen something they liked out of Kentucky. Thunder making a lot of moves in this draft. Kevin Huerter goes, and now we're up. All right. I think I'm happy with this draft. I'm not going to do any trade, I don't think. And we've got a lot of options here. D'Anthony Melton, either one of the Bridges brothers, Gary Trent with some shooting off the bench. There's a lot of good options here. Devontae Graham, Kevin Knox, Mo Bamba, Keita Bates-Diop. What's his comparison? Robert Horry, Jalen Brunson's even here. I don't even know what to do. Mitchell Robinson is a good player. All NBA for him with Bill Walton. He might not even get drafted. We might be able to steal him in free agency. I think we take Miles Bridges to get some nice forward minutes off the bench. I think that's the move. Nobody else here has a really crazy ceiling. Doesn't look like. Kevin Knox, certainly not going to take him. Although Mo Bamba's got Dikembe Mutombo All-NBA, so that's good. It's really down to either Jalen Brunson or Miles Bridges. And I don't think we need another guard. So let's take Miles Bridges. I think that's a solid pick. We're going to simulate to the end of the draft. If Mitchell Robinson didn't get taken, then cool. Luka's an 80 overall. DeAndre Ayton's a 70. I think we certainly won this draft. That is for sure. Bridges ends up being a 76. Jalen Brunson got taken by the Hawks. Then Mitchell Robinson did get taken by the Pistons. Okay, so good for them. I'm happy with what... Ooh, I almost didn't sign DeAndre Ayton. That was close. I'm happy with how we did that trading. LeBron accepts his option, his team option. So does Darko. Good for Darko, I guess. Jalen Green declined his player option. Very interesting. Should we offer the... You know what? I'm going to offer the qualifying offer to Gail Goodrich. We might trade him. This might be a sign and trade, a classic sign and trade. No, I don't want to go to that. I want to go to free agency. We don't have money. Can I offer James Harden a contract? No, I cannot. I cannot offer James Harden a contract. I cannot offer Jalen Green a contract. But this is what the roster's looking like. I'm going to switch Kobe back to shooting guard so that Luka can play point guard. Let's move him to shooting guard, point guard. Then we'll move... we'll keep Jalen Suggs at point guard. We'll have Luka play point guard. LUKA might have to come off the bench the first season so that Jalen Suggs can start, because, I mean, he's a 90 overall. We might as well start him. Then we got DeAndre Ayton going to start at center. Yes, this team is looking good. I can't believe I traded Kevin Durant. I really can't. I'm actually super shocked that I actually did that, but it worked out in the end. He's over there with Jermaine O'Neal. Hopefully they make the Blazers pretty good. I should probably turn him back into a small forward, though, just to help them out a little bit. Let's turn him. He's been playing power forward for a little bit too long, so let's turn him back into small forward, help them out. All right. That was a crazy, crazy scene. I can't believe we actually did that. Next year, we only have one first-round pick, which is the Nuggets. We might actually, I shouldn't say that because we have the option to trade Gail Goodrich for a first-round pick. So who knows what's going to happen there. We really don't have any money. So we are going to renounce the rights on all that. If somebody offers Gail Goodrich a contract, actually, I'm not going to screw this up again. I'm going to offer Gail Goodrich the contract and then trade him. That's what I'm going to do. Agree to the contract. We signed him. Cade Cunningham makes it to actual free agency, which is interesting. Did anybody go anywhere new? Harden stays with the Nuggets. Jalen Green goes to the Jazz. He had enough of Milwaukee. Hakeem Olajuwon goes to the Warriors. Rick Barry stays with the Nets. Mike Conley heads to the Knicks. Michael Jordan's a Celtic? So they switch Michael Jordan for Jalen Green. Wow. That's disgusting. Michael Jordan in a Celtics jersey? That is actually kind of disgusting. All right. Do we have the bird rights on anybody else? We don't. We're not have anybody else restricted, I don't think. How many players do we have on the roster? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No power forwards. 10, 11. So we need to sign some power forwards who can play some good minutes for us. Some good starter minutes at power forward, which the money that we have, I don't think we're going to be able to find anybody that can do that. Although we might be able to find a trade that could give us a power forward that we need. There's Purvis Ellison. He was just in the playoffs, I think, right? Yeah, he was in Utah. He doesn't want too much. We could offer him a minimum deal. And I'll also probably want to bring in a small forward because if we're going to be trading Gail Goodrich, we're going to need a shooting guard or small forward that can replace him. Not replace him, but just fill out a roster spot. So let's go with, who's a cheap guy that we could get that can shoot? This Orlando Tucker guy seems pretty good, so we'll bring him in. Then we'll go for another power forward. Taj Gibson we'll offer a contract to, and we'll see what happens there. Nobody's accepted just yet. Did I see Sam Bowie there? Is Sam Bowie still an option? I might have to go down a little bit long. There's Sam Bowie. He is. Let's bring in Sam Bowie. So we got Ellison, Orlando Tucker, Gibson. I'm assuming Bowie's going to sign it. There it is. So Bowie signed it. Signed it? He signed. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, but I signed that extra guy because we're probably going to be trading Gail Goodrich. So that's what the roster's looking like. I'm super excited for next season because we got LUKA, we got DeAndre Ayton. Kobe's up to a 97. LeBron's up to a 94. I'm expecting LeBron to take a big jump in scoring because now Kevin Durant's not here. Suggs is down 2 to an 89. I'm a little bit worried about that, but he's probably not going to be here too long, especially because we got LUKA waiting in the wings. Tracy's up 4 to an 80. We might even trade Josh Christopher, too, at some point because we do have Tracy McGrady. We have Miles Bridges, who we just drafted. So we've got some options to trade. So Christopher and Gail Goodrich, possible options for being traded, especially because Christopher's on the last year of his deal. So possible options to be traded. But what a season. What an episode, man. What an absolute episode. We just had the craziest, probably the craziest episode in the entirety of the series. Trading Kevin Durant, which I didn't think I was ever going to do. And then bringing in freaking Luka Doncic. Unbelievable scenes. Jalen Suggs is going to start at point guard. Then you got Kobe back at his natural shooting guard. LeBron, Taj Gibson, and DeAndre Ayton. Then Gail Goodrich, Christopher, McGrady, Luka, Bridges, and Collison. We probably needed a big guy coming off the bench. Let's get Collison, take his minutes away. Give Darko some minutes. Have another big man coming off the bench. But we are probably going to move on from these two guys. next episode. I'm not going to do it at this episode. We are probably going to move on from those two guys. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club main league channel in the description if you want to go check out the main channel. I hope you do, but if you don't, also pretty cool. So hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.